Hey there, YouTube. How's everybody doing out there this week? We've transitioned over to full-on summer here in lower Alabama, and for all you people that are always complaining that you don't get enough warm weather throughout the year, come on down here and spend 6 months and see if that changes your mind a little bit. Anyhow, today we're going to talk about healing gut issues on a plant-based diet. I don't get tons of emails and questions and stuff, but I'd say a good majority of the people that write to me will write to me with something related to a gut issue or something to do with their stomach, digestion, what have you. And as much as I sometimes feel like I talk about too many of the same people, Dr. Bulsiewicz and I forget her name, Robin, right now. I keep recommending these same people, and I just assume okay, maybe I'm over recommending, but then somebody writes and they haven't seen some of the things I'm doing. So basically, I go to experts. Dr. Bulsiewicz, the Exam Room podcast. There are phenomenal talks on there. I'm going to try to remember in this one too. I'm going to actually, and like I say, it's not just all Dr. Bulsiewicz. I'm going to put a link below to three. I think I know another one besides Dr. B and Robin, and a third one. I'm going to put a link to at least 3 really good talks on gut health from there. And the reason I like to do that over and over is that's what I would do. Listen, if tomorrow, and I've had gut issues in the past, if tomorrow I had some sort of a serious gut issue, or somebody in my immediate family or one of my best friends did, I would say do exactly what the man says. I wouldn't say, kind of follow him a little bit. I would put myself in his hands completely. One thing that people, when they're writing to me, I need to just say over and over and over and over. I don't need a fully raw diet. I'm not obsessed with the raw part of it. I've eaten a very high raw diet for coming up on 11 years now. But it's always been about health. You can go back 7 years, 8 years, however long, and look at my videos, and I've always mentioned the focus is more about the health than on staying raw versus eating some cooked food. And I think a lot of times people do themselves a disservice when they think, it's got to be raw, because I've heard so many stories of people that kept trying to do it raw, kept trying to do it completely raw. And they found eventually, after being stubborn, that adding in cooked whole foods, there is a place for that. Something else too. And hey, let me tell you something. I've never dealt with anything serious with a gut or digestive issue, but I've had issues. We've all had issues in our life, and I've had when you have a stomach ache, when you have when you're backed up, or when you have diarrhea, anything involving the digestive system is not fun. It's not, it's uncomfortable. It's one of the worst things. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But sometimes too, people just have to realize that as bad as that is, probably nobody's going to give you that one answer that's going to make it immediately go away. A lot of times I like this saying that Dr. B. Bulsiewicz uses all the time: start low and go slow. And that's another mistake I think a lot of people make when they have digestive issues. They compile this list of things. Well, I can't eat this, and this is always going to be off. This is always, we just don't eat this anymore, especially when people have digestive issues when it comes to cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are good for us. So, it's not going to necessarily do you well just to say, I'm not eating any more cruciferous vegetables because they're upsetting my digestive system right now. A lot of times what you do is there's different protocols, and that's why I recommend listening to professionals, hearing what they have to say, as opposed to just some dude on YouTube like me that's going to tell you, well, do a cleanse, do a feast, do a fast, because those feast and fast are going to heal everything, aren't they? Not. There's certain protocols. There's certain things you need to do. There's healing in the gut. There's healing you can do to your gut, and then you will be able to eat some things. There's some things you're not going to be able to eat now that you're going to want to add in the future. There's going to be some things that very shortly, even though you might be in distress with your digestive system right now, there are things that you're going to start adding in slowly, like the cruciferous. And like I've said for years, if you have a hard time digesting that. I'm just kind of talking about the people that don't necessarily have anything serious, but if you have a problem, don't just get rid of it. Like I do with my salad sometime. I chop up cruciferous vegetables, and I put maybe a couple of tablespoons on something. So start low and go slow. Now with some digestive issues, not eating the right things, not following the right protocols are just gonna like prolong your distress, prolong your discomfort, and just keep you in pain. In other words, it's kind of like mostly like a no harm, no foul, other than just the immediate pain you're in. But with things like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, and from what I understand, not being an expert in those fields and not having experienced that every time somebody has a flare-up, there is being damage done. That inflammation is burning up, tearing up that large intestine. So each time people have flare-ups, and if depending on how long they last, how severe they are, a lot of times whether blood is involved, whatever, then the clock starts ticking a little bit. And if you keep dealing with this over and over and over, people get to a point where the doctor's just like, well, we don't really have any other choice other than to remove your large intestine. And we're talking about a major surgery. You have to use a bag for the rest of your life. And people can live a full life like that. But, if you can avoid it at all costs. So, like I say, the takeaways would just be to listen to the people that actually know this stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm a plant-based gastroenterologist is always where I'm going to put my confidence when it comes to something that deals with a digestive issue. And when you see the cases over and over and over of people that have kind of healed their guts on this diet, and when I say healed, I'm not talking in the healing like we hear too much in this food world of, just do another fast, do another feast, do another this or that, and you're going to be healed. Mostly, I think the terms people like to use with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's is like in remission. I don't think you're going to eat a certain way for a specific period of time. It goes away completely, and then theoretically you could go back to eating whatever. But then why would you want to go back to eating whatever? You want to start catching up, because also too, another issue of things like Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and other gut issues is you're not absorbing the nutrients. When your gut's not functioning properly, you're not absorbing the nutrients. So besides just having a bad gut, you're also not getting the nutrition you need. So that's all. I would just say, like I say, like Dr. B says, start low and go slow. Listen to these experts. Those are phenomenal talks that I keep recommending to you people on the Exam Room podcast. And if you're out there right now, especially for the people that have some serious gut issues, what have you got to lose? It's free. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've got one of these little devices that, and each one of these little devices, whether it's Apple or Samsung or whatever, has a place where you can listen to podcasts. Go get that free information. Go listen to these that I'm going to drop down here tonight, and just see what they have to say. Try them. The worst that could happen is you get a little bit of relief. The best that could happen is you completely put your gut issues to rest. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and I'll see you when I see you. I don't really have a schedule these days. Sometimes I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I will be back. Peace.